Hello, Dr. Sue.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, good. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Okay, so everything seems to be working. Okay, let's switch off. Okay, so is this our first one after 8? Not the first one, second one?
No, second one.
Okay, good. I don't remember anymore. So
Happy
anyways.
Eid anyway, again.
Yeah, it's okay. So
Okay.
so I think our last one we talked about I think we talked about we did 2 examples. Let's go back to our examples. Let's open them. And we worked on, we tried to write a good paragraph. We did 2 paragraphs and we worked on the question, if you remember the one about...
Discussion, yeah.
Yeah, the one about the sports facilities, the discussion question.
Yes.
Okay, so let me just share the screen so you can see what I'm seeing. So these are the 2 we did. So let's get to the question. Let's open a question. The question is, not this one. Yeah, no, this was the planning one. I think this is the one with the discussion. Yes, this is the one. Is it? No, not this one. We don't need this one. This is the one about lexical resources. Okay, let me go to the folder itself. What I want is I think essay types, was it? We didn't open this one, but let's keep it open. Where did we see the question?
I think it was the mock book. One of the...
Right, yes, from the mock book, exactly, yes. From the mock book. So it's from flash drive, which is somewhere around here. Created. Yeah, so we just want the question in front of us so we can have a good look at it. Okay, so let's move this. And did I send you a sample?
No.
I didn't send you a sample. I thought I did.
A sample of...
Of the discussion question.
No.
Okay, so we can do this today. We can sort of break it down. But let's work on our article, the one we did together. Let's try to finish it, including the introduction and conclusion today, and sort of compare it to a model answer, and see how close we are to how it should be. And I think that would be a good idea. But first of all, let's copy it all together in one, because last time we had it separated. So let's just put it together, cut, and we can, this way we have it together. Okay, so if you take a look at this, this is pretty nice. You know why? Because we have 184 words out of 250, and we still have a full introduction and a full conclusion, right? So this way we're in the safe zone already, which is a good thing. So so I think this is very important. Okay, so when we see the question now, let me go to the question. What's this? Okay, here's the mock test. This was the one we were talking about, right? Improving improving public health by increasing the number of sports and facilities. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about introductions. Very, 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 very briefly, I'm going to give you the very brief version and then we'll sort of break it down. Very, very briefly, introductions have two key parts that the examiner will look for when checking your introduction. First of all is the paraphrasing of the question. Okay? It means you need to show the reader or the examiner that you need to show them that this is what you're talking about. You need to make it clear about what you're talking about in the introduction. So I think I usually say to IELTS candidates is I tell them, always imagine that the reader or the examiner doesn't have the question in front of him, right? So always imagine that all he has is what you've written. That's all he has. So if your introduction doesn't say clearly what it's about, so even if you've written a fabulous body, supporting body 1, supporting body 2, but it's not clear what it is about, how can you get any points for relevancy, right? Because he can't relate what you've written to what it's about if you haven't made it clear from the get-go. So this is very, very important. You need to paraphrase the question. So this way, the reader, the examiner, i.e. the examiner, knows what you're talking about. So this is very, very important. So first of all, paraphrasing the question. And the reason that paraphrasing is better than just copying the answer, copying the question verbatim, word by word, is because if you do that, you won't be, the words which you've just picked up from the question, those words won't be included in the word count if you just copy them. Do you get the idea?
So like if they have the same words, they don't count in the number, you mean, of the words?
No, if you just copy paste it, it's counted. And it's a negative thing, by the way. It's not a recommended thing. Some people do it maybe out of, I don't know, stress or inability to properly paraphrase. But whatever you do, it's always better to paraphrase it. Just rephrase it. Just mix the words a little bit. Okay, so this is very important. You need to paraphrase the question. So this way the reader knows, okay, so you're discussing these two ideas. You're talking about the effect of sports facilities on public health, and you're discussing the effect of other measures on public health. Okay, I know what you're talking about now. This is your first half of the introduction. The second half, or the second part, is your opinion. This is where you need to state it clearly. This is your position. This also needs to be very clear, and it needs to be from the beginning. Because this way they can relate everything you've said in the body to this position. If it's in harmony, if it's in sync with your position in the introduction, everything is great, everything is good. If it's not, then you have a problem. You have some comprehension, logic problem, whatever it is. And this is common, like I said, under stress. People say one thing and then they forget their positions. They just want to fill in words. They think it's about filling words, that's all. So you need to be careful. So this is the very, very sort of rough outline for introduction. Paraphrasing the question, opinion. There is a third sort of optional part. It's like it's like an ending sentence. It's a bit like saying, and in this article I will talk about da 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 da. Do you understand?
In the introduction.
In the introduction, you just state that I'm going to discuss this part. So I'm going to take you to an article which talks in more detail about introductions. I'm just going to show you.
Okay. And do you think the introduction should be like long?
No.
Or just short?
Short.
Okay.
Short. First of all, let's I get introduction, paraphrase, question, paraphrase. Yeah. Jesus, taking online. Exactly. Yes. So it's so the opinion is your thesis statement. This is the proper name for it. okay, this one I think is not a very good one. It's a good one, but it's not organized. I haven't. It's the same. This one is a little better. Okay, let's use this one because the other one is not formatted very well. Anyways, let's start with problems. Let's start with writing a bad introduction. What are the things that make an introduction a bad introduction? I think this one, we've already seen that this one is a very, 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 very common problem in IELTS. And you need to avoid this by all costs. It's not speaking. You can't just talk generally. It's a very bad thing. Instead of saying things or cars, talk brands. Talk about specific brands. Don't say cars. Say vehicles. Say Toyotas. Say, be specific. This is the idea. They don't want you to speak generally. It's the worst thing you can do. So okay, so let's see if there's anything in my opinion the worst start you can probably make nowadays in modern life, general information. Okay, it doesn't say exactly because in the bottom of this article there is an example of a bad introduction. So for now, let's just keep this in mind. Don't speak generally about the topic, okay? Yeah, this one. Your thesis statement. This is your opinion. If it's not included in the introduction, it's a really bad thing. Okay, this is the third thing I told you about, the outlining sentence. Okay, so this is at the end of your introduction, and it just says what you're going to do in the article. I'm going to discuss these two, something like this. Okay. This is funny.
Okay.
Okay, this one is. I think this is not very common, but some smarty pants try to do this. They forget that this is an academic test. They don't need it to be entertaining. They don't want it to be funny. It's not a blog. It shouldn't be cool. It shouldn't be hip, right? It should just state the facts. So this is a problem. Don't avoid, and this expression is nice, avoid flowery language. So you shouldn't use any kind of language which is informal. You need to be academic formal. And this is similar to this point, which is using an informal style. Don't use an informal style. Okay, now here we have some bad examples. Let's check the bad examples, okay? Hey, I've lost power.
Yeah, mine just went off 5 minutes ago. Oh.
Okay, so where is it? Good and bad examples. Let me take it to the bad example. Let's start with the bad introduction. But before we check the bad introduction, let's check the question first. So you need to know what it's about. Take a look at the question. And I'm just going to move the bad one first. And so we see the bad one before the good one. Okay. So let me move you to the question. So take a look at this question. It's an agree, disagree question. Okay, I'm going to switch on the inverters so you can just stay online. Okay, hi. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm still there. I'm still here.
Okay, so we've got the lights on. Okay, so what do you think of these two introductions?
Interesting. Yeah, I think first one is like it is not it's bad. Yeah, it could be better than that. The second one is really good.
Yeah, and if we break down the second one, the good one, we can see that it has the parts we want. It has a clear paraphrasing of the question, and it has a thesis sentence, and it has the outline. So let's color each one differently, okay? So this part, the first one, all up to here, all this is the paraphrasing. And if you read this and if you read the question, it's almost the same thing. Not word by word, of course, but the meaning is the same. So if you see it, what does it say here? It says there's a good deal of evidence that increasing car use is contributing to global warming and having other undesirable effects on people's health and well-being. So rising global temperatures and human health and fitness issues are often viewed as being caused by the expanding use of automobiles. Do you see the switch that this writer did?
Yes.
So he started with the last part of the question. He put it in the beginning. It's like cause result. So he started with the result. Sorry, he started with the cause, and then talked about result, cause. And in the original question, you have cause, result, right? You have increasing car use leads to bad health. This is the question. Here they started the other way around. Bad health and increasing global temperatures are caused by cars.
Mm-hmm.
So
he said automobiles, so he's like using cold.
So you can paraphrase and you can use synonyms almost every step along the way. So he didn't use, and if we check them, if we want to be a little autistic and specific, we can do this, because you can see that cars is automobiles. Instead of increasing car use, he said expanding use. So increasing is expanding. Car is automobile. Global warming is rising global temperatures, right? Health and well-being is human health and fitness issues. It's not the best of paraphrases. It's a little awkward. Human health and fitness issues, but nevertheless, it is a paraphrase. It's paraphrasing the question. You get the idea? So this is component number one of a good introduction, a clear paraphrasing of the question. So now, as a reader, as an examiner, when I see this, okay, so I know what he's going to talk about now. I know what the article is about. Okay. Now, the second part, this is your thesis statement. This is your position. This is your opinion. This is, of course, they will check this very closely here.
He agrees.
He agrees. It's an agree-disagree question. Keep in mind that not all questions have a place for a position. Agree-disagree is one of them. Discuss both opinions is one of them. I think there may be one or two which don't have a position, but almost all of them have a position. Okay? So you can say just keep in mind that you will need to state your position. So he agrees that increasing use of motor. I think there's a missing the here. The essay agrees that increasing. I think there should have been the. Anyways, use of motor vehicles is contributing to the global temperature, to rising global temperatures and certain health issues. Okay, this is the outline part. Firstly, this essay will discuss the production of greenhouse gases by vehicles, and secondly, it will discuss other toxic chemicals released by internal combustion engines.
Yeah, is that okay? You put that in introduction. You say what you're gonna discuss.
Yes, you can. You can do this. It's okay. This is your outline. this is just sort of an intro to the main ideas you'll use in the paragraphs, in the supporting body 1 and body 2. To be honest, most IELTS instructors don't emphasize this outline sentence so much. To be honest, the first two are a little more important. The one where you paraphrase the question and you state your position. I think this is where it really matters. The last one is, there is an element of repetition, because you will do this again in the body itself to get the idea.
Yes, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, like, you're going to tell them your opinion, and you're going to talk about it. Why did he include that in the last line? So that's why I don't know.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's an outline sentence. That's why they call it an outline. It's outlining what you'll find in the main body. So it's a bit like an index. This is what an outline is for. It's like a summary of what will come in supporting body 1, supporting body 2. Now, okay. Now, do you see? These are the 3 parts we just saw. Paraphrasing the question, the thesis statement, the outline statement. Let's see in more detail. Paraphrasing the question. Okay, you say it again, but with different words. I think it's cleared for you. They've actually broken. They've done it part by part, increasing, expanding, car use of automobiles. We just did this too. I don't think there's anything new for you here. Use a wide range of vocabulary. I think it's obvious. Up till now, it's obvious. Do you see? This is what I've been talking about. This.
Most important sentence.
Yes. This is what really matters, because this is the position. This is your main idea. This is everything that the article is about. This is your position. Very, very important. It tells the examiner that you have understood the question and will lead to a clear and coherent essay. If you have a very good thesis statement, you've already, even if you really mess up in the rest of it, you've already guaranteed a 5.5, more or less, just by doing a very good thesis statement, because this shows that you've understood the question. So you won't get less than 5.5. Okay, so thesis example. It is always, okay, so this is also important, this little part. They're telling us in more detail what should be included, or what should a thesis sentence look like. So it's one sentence. It's called a thesis sentence. It's one sentence. Okay, so you need to sum up your opinion in one sentence. It should address the micro keywords and not the topic in general. We've already had met this problem in forming the main ideas in the paragraphs themselves.
Yeah,
but it's just the same as when you state your opinion. When you state your opinion, your main position should be relevant to the micro words, the micro keywords, and not speaking generally, because this is not a very good thing to do. Okay, so here are some nice ways to start your thesis sentences. You can say this essay agrees, or this essay disagrees. The main causes of the issues, principal advantage, principal disadvantage. Maybe not so useful, this one. It doesn't really matter, I think, how you start saying your sentence, as long as your opinion and your position is clear and it's written in a proper way. Okay, we have 2 options. Okay, so they're just giving us a little bit of practice on thesis sentences here. All right, so let's take a look at this question. Okay, so it's an agree-disagree question. Some aspects of celebrity culture have a bad influence on young people, okay? To what extent do you agree or disagree with this statement? So it's an agree-disagree, so you just choose one of them. If you agree and if you disagree, we'll see what you can write, a good example of a thesis statement. So if you agree, you can say something like this. This essay agrees that some famous people's lifestyles have a detrimental effect on the youth of today. Okay, And you can see that there's already a large number of synonyms, right? So instead of saying celebrity culture, he said famous people's lifestyle.
Lifestyle.
Instead of saying bad influence, he said detrimental effect. Instead of saying young people, he said the youth of today. So he's been paraphrasing along the way, every step along the way. So this is a good way to do it. Oops. Now let's look at another one where he disagrees. Let's see if he's written this. No, he's just done the agree one. He didn't do a disagree. But let's say he disagrees. You can just say the same thing. Say disagrees, and you can use the same words he's used, right? Or we can use other words. So the idea is, I think you don't have a problem with paraphrasing. I think as long as you get it, we'll have a chance to practice it ourselves. Okay, this is the outline sentence.
Yeah.
I don't know how important this is, but you won't lose anything for doing it. As long as it's not too repetitive, or as long as it doesn't give away too much of what you're going to say in the body, I think there's no...
I don't know, because like when you're under the stress of the exam, you might repeat it. So like, I don't know, it's like I'm going to say I'm going to use an outline, and then I'm going to repeat it again. I don't know. That's why I'm asking you, is it necessary to be put there?
I don't know. I don't think it's very, very necessary, to be honest. I think it's a bit of a luxury to do it, but why not do it? This is the idea. If you do it well, and if you do it without being repetitive, it's nice. It's a nice way of ending the paragraph, instead of just putting your thesis sentence and then full stop and starting, right? It's a sort of a nice lead. It's a nice lead into the paragraphs themselves, into the body itself. So so maybe it's worth doing. Maybe you can work on these, and we'll see from the two paragraphs we've prepared, we can see if we can make an interesting outline statement. Wrote about the content. So what I've done is just look at my main body paragraphs. Okay, so here it is. Do you see what he's done? He just took the two main ideas that he has in the paragraphs, which for us will be these two. Let's go to our topic. Where's ours? Yeah. So this means for us it would be these two. So you just need to sort of paraphrase this or summarize these two. So you can say, in this essay, I will illustrate, or I will discuss, for example, the positive effects of exercise and the negative effects that some substitutes to exercise have on public health. Right? You see what I did? I just sort of, it's a two-in-one. I summarized it, I made them a lot shorter, and I used different words. But when you go to the paragraphs themselves, you will automatically link it to what's written in the outline sentence. So you can do it like this. Remember, you're going to paraphrase your main ideas again in the conclusion. But in the conclusion, you'll need to sort of expand a little bit. Do the opposite of what I did, because in the outline sentence, you need to give away as little as possible from your main ideas, right? You do need to mention them. You need to say what you're talking about, but yes, sort of squeeze it or be a little stingy. Don't give up. Don't give too much for the reader. In the conclusion, it's the other way around. You will paraphrase the main idea in paragraph 1, paragraph 2, do it together. And you need to start with a concluding start word, like
to sum up.
To sum up, in conclusion, something like this. Yeah. And you need to paraphrase these two, maybe expand a little bit And there you go. That's a conclusion. But let's stick to the introduction for now, because we're going to start with an introduction first.
Okay.
All right. So like as you see here, with our friend Mr. Christopher here, Mr. Christopher Pell, he's basically telling us this is all you need to do. You should, of course, you should have only one main idea per paragraph. So we can say check for this, check, check. We've done this. We're okay. We're on track. And you just need to paraphrase them. You just need to say what they are. So the main body one, I think he's moved on to. Okay, so I think he's just talking a little bit about the body now. He's moved out of introductions in this part. Okay, let's move down. Okay, that's all.
Okay.
The last two parts, he's not discussing the introductions per se. I think this is probably the last part where he talks about yes, when he talks about the outline statement. The rest is not. So according to all this information that we've just sort of picked up, let's make a good introduction for our article. Okay, this is our article, this is our question. So let's maybe let's resize this one, make it a little smaller, so we can put it with our, maybe too small. I just want to keep it in front of us. I don't think it will work, but maybe the other way around. Okay, so the other way around, maybe this one. Okay, now it's better, I think. All right, so we can see the question in front of us, and we will write. Let's start with paraphrasing, okay? So some people say that the best way to improve public health is by increasing the number of sports facilities. Okay, how would you paraphrase this sentence? How would you start?
A group of people. I'm going to change simply, so I'm not going to go like, okay, a group of people believe.
Try passive. And try it from the other way around, like what we saw now. Start from the back. Start with sports facilities, and start with the passive.
That's very good. The adding of more sport facilities is believed by a group of people to increase
Okay.
public health. Okay.
The addition instead of adding of the addition of
okay.
Sports facilities. Let's paraphrase sports facilities.
More sports facilities.
No, the word sports facilities. We want a synonym.
No. I don't know what's the synonym.
If I'm going to say it, you'll. I know you know it, but I want you to say it. What's? Give me an example of a sports facility. Like what?
Like.
What are sports facilities?
Okay, like basketball fields, football grounds.
Fields. What else? Football. What? What did you say?
I said football ground. Basketball Wait.
What do we call the place
Walking tracks or jogging tracks or something.
Okay, running tracks maybe.
Okay.
And where are running tracks usually put in a? Where do people play football?
A field. And
Field or really big matches. Where do they play them? Field is good, by the way. We're going to use it, but I want to know. Where do people lift weights?
The gym.
Okay, this is another sport facility. So we have a field, we have gyms. What do we call taking care of your well-being, your physical well-being? There's a word that starts with F. And it's a trend on social media. Everybody wants to be
fit. Fitness.
Yeah, that's it. So you have fitness. And where do we practice fitness? In a fitness? What's the best collocation? Fitness?
Not a gym. I already said gym.
Fitness, it starts with the letter C.
Compound?
Not compound.
See? Center?
There you go. Okay. Okay, these three are good. These three are good. We have football and basketball. Well, basketball, not a field. Basketball courts, football fields or football stadiums, gyms, and fitness centers. Now you have a nice variation. Do you get the idea?
Mm-hmm.
The book I sent you, by the way, the topic specific vocab section is full of these things. So if you go to the lesson about sports, you'll see the difference between stadium, court, field, playground, whatever. So you do need these things because they will come in handy in your writing and in your speaking, by the way. So you need to focus on this. If you really want to sort of fine-tune your above 7 band score, you will need these words.
Yes.
Okay, so the addition of, let's say, gyms, fitness centers, and sports and fields, football fields. What about it? You said believed earlier, right?
Yeah, I said the addition of gyms, fitness centers, and I said a group of people believed.
Make it into passive.
Okay. Is believed by some people, or like is believed to
something instead of people.
Society.
Okay, by many in society.
As believed by many in society. To increase.
Yeah, we want to improve public health. We want a synonym.
Yeah, to increase. I've got the word. It's just coming. To increase the public awareness about healthy lifestyle, maybe.
A little too. It's not very concise.
Okay.
We want something a little more concise.
By many in society.
What about the verb contribute?
Contribute. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. To strategy is to contribute to
Mm-hmm.
increasing the awareness of public health.
We don't want to increase awareness of public health. We want to improve public health.
Improve. Okay. So yeah, improve. Something else. Improve. Contribute to better lifestyle, a better.
Okay.
To a better health. No.
Let's use lifestyle, but let's
body. Okay.
to
better healthy body.
To our health, to contribute to a healthier life, to healthier without a, to a healthier public lifestyle. I stole lifestyle from you. What do you think of this? We talked about public, we talked about their health, and we used lifestyle instead of saying public health. Healthier public lifestyle, or healthier, healthier, to a healthier social. No, we said society. Contribute to a healthier. Let's change contribute. In many society to lead, to cause, to correlate with. Let's use correlate. To correlate with.
Or maintain. Maintain.
Maintain.
Oh.
Did we use maintain a lot in? No, we didn't use. Okay, good. To maintain a healthy, to maintain a healthier lifestyle. To maintain a healthier of a given community. Given community means the community of where we have more gyms, fitness centers, and football fields.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So now the part about measures. Others, however, say that this would have a little effect, blah, 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 blah.
So can we start like, however? Some
Let's use something other than however. We have however in the question.
While others say, while.
Okay, we don't want to say others.
Okay, while that we in many societies. On the other hand.
We have on the other hand here.
Oh, okay. Understand.
And instead of while, there's another one better than while, similar to while.
It's not however, it's not while. But or no, not but.
Whereas.
On the contrary. Okay, no.
Have you heard of whereas? Yes.
Yes.
Whereas,
yes.
But usually whereas doesn't. We don't start it from the beginning. It means it needs to be. In the sentence itself. And this sentence is already too long for it. Do you understand? Usually, so whereas, so it's usually like this. You need a comma before it, and then you talk. Whereas, and then the next point. You get the idea.
Mm-hmm. So we can.
Let's try it.
So, whereas some people, you said don't say some people, say others. Or we can say some people, right?
You can't say some people can't say others. You can, but I don't want you to, because we want to make it a little challenge. You need to use your paraphrasing neurons now. What about if we say, whereas some experts?
Experts?
Yeah. Because this is sort of a social issue, and we can say, well, some experts in the field
this is difficult. Okay, like some experts in the field think that, or believe.
we use believe. Let's use another one. Think is okay.
Okay. Where's
Think.
Think other measures are required. Right. Let's I can public health on that. There are more effective ways or other.
There are more effective ways. This is a good one.
To
what? More effective ways than what? Than what? To what?
More. I can't get previous. There are more effective ways to enhance public health. I don't know.
Not bad.
Okay. I'm trying to look for something. Effective ways. Can I say like more effective ways other than the previous? No.
Yes, you can.
Previous mentions.
Correct. You can say there are more effective ways than the previously. More effective ways to. That's to. This is what we haven't thought of yet. Than the previously mentioned, or if you want to be really fancy, aforementioned. This is a very formal way of saying previously mentioned. Mentioned sports. Just say facilities. So this is our first time of using facilities, right? So I've just collected gyms, fitness centers, football fields, and I just substituted them with aforementioned facilities or previously mentioned facilities, right? But now we want to say effective ways to improve public health without saying improve public health.
Uplift public health instead
Sorry?
of improve.
I didn't hear it.
Uplift.
Uplift. Not a very good collocation. It needs to collocate well. Enhance is okay.
Okay.
Maintain. Instead of public health, let's say we said healthy lifestyle.
Is this essential in
healthy habits, healthy something with habits, um, physical fitness, right?
improving people's physical condition?
Maybe not so bad. That's okay. It's a little better than uplifting. Whereas some expensive, there are more effective ways to. What did he say? What's the verb?
Improving people's.
You don't want to use improve. You want something.
Okay. Oh, okay. Enhancing. Okay.
Enhance.
Trying to look for something else. It's like difficult. Not improve.
Lead to effective way, more effective ways, leading to. No, leading is a little weird here. More effective ways to help achieve a higher level of personal fitness. Achieve a higher level of personal fitness, or physical fitness, or fitness, or physical health, of physical
well-being.
Well-being. We used it in the next sentence. It's very good, by the way, but we just have it in the main idea. You see.
So you can't use. Oh, you mean you can't use the same words that
you can. You can. Okay. It's okay, but we don't want to. We want to show our feathers, right? We want to show that we have a good vocab range. That's the idea.
Yes.
This is the challenge. The challenge is it's easy repeating the same words. It's not a crime if you repeat the same word, but it's the art, and it's when you can do it without repeating the words. Okay.
Okay. Increase healthiness level.
High level of physical fitness is okay, I guess.
Okay.
Because we only used it as fitness centers. We didn't use it as a noun. Then the aforementioned facility. So now we've paraphrased the question. But we haven't put our thesis statement yet, our thesis sentence, your position, or both views. Before both views, we need your opinion first.
So, in my opinion.
You can start with my opinion, or this essay. In my opinion is okay.
So I have to change the whole words, right? So I'm not use the new word.
Yes. And if you say sports facilities here, I guess it's okay. Or you can do it in reverse by saying that the other measures are not as good as sports facilities. That the other measures, despite some of the advantages, are not really good. Do you get the idea? Start by dissing the opposite opinion, the opposite team.
Okay. I'm going to start from the other way, then I'll say like, although no, wait.
Okay, finish your idea. Although.
No, I was going to start the other way, then it's kind of weird. Wait, I'm writing it. I'm writing it down, so I just didn't work. Okay, like maybe although other measures are required to
You've just repeated the question.
Yeah. Oh, great. Oh, this is difficult.
Use some of the measures instead of saying measures. You can say, for example, substitutes, because we already said therapeutic measures in our main idea in the second paragraph. So we don't want to say measures too much. You can say, in my opinion, for example, substitutes or you can say substitutes to building more fitness centers.
We used fitness, right?
I did use fitness, but at least it's mine. It's not from them. It's not their question. It's not their word. Substitute to building more fitness sentences lead to more harm than good to the general public and ought to be avoided, for example. To get the idea, you just stated your position in reverse. So when the reader reads this, he can already tell that, so you're against the other measures. It's clear that you're against the other measures, but you said it without saying you're with sports facilities. You get the idea?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, you can do it in more than one way. This is the idea. As long as you're not repetitive and you're coming up with new ways of saying your ideas, this is what they want. So Americans choose to building more fitness lead to more harm than good to the general public and ought to be avoided, or ought to be used with extreme, ought to be used only under expert supervision. For example, this is your thesis sentence. Now, your outline should look something like this. In this essay will illustrate, for example, or will. I think he didn't use illustrate in his.
No.
He used another expression. Will talk or mention.
Oh, we'll discuss. Discuss.
Discuss is a good one. I think he used discuss. We'll discuss, yes. But you don't have to say discuss. But let's copy the one he used. This illustrate will discuss. So what will it discuss? Let's see your main ideas. It will discuss. Let's paraphrase the first one.
I have to paraphrase it. More exercising.
Positive effects.
More. That's positive effects of
the positive effects of exercise easily exercise and exercise as effect of exercise the positive effects of available. I want to connect exercise. I want to connect exercise with sports facility.
Health, with health, right? Positive effect of exercising and health.
Yeah, but we want to connect exercising with the increasing. Remember, our micro topic word is increasing the number of sports facilities. So if we make it about exercise, to get, we want to connect exercise with facilities. This is the idea.
Positive effect of positive effects of.
So just a second. In our thesis sentence, we can maybe state this more clearly. In my opinion, substitute more fitness centers and the exercise people, the public can do in them. And the exercise is that the public can do, public does in them. Maybe physical activity. We do exercise in public. The public does in them leads to more harm.
Okay, how about this essay? Providing.
Now it's okay if we talk about exercise because I just want to link exercise with building more fitness centers.
But we were like, why did you change your mind?
Because I've just paid attention to it because we don't just talk about public health. Public health is the topic word. It's the general topic word.
Right.
What's really important for us is to give a reason for building more sports facilities and how they will improve public health and why the measures won't improve public health. And the increased exercise. And the increased public and the resulting public health and the resulting physical activity, public physical activity of a population. Let's see if we need to change. In my opinion, substitutes to building more fitness centers and the resulting and the increased physical activity of the population. I don't like it very much, but let's go on and we'll come back to it.
Okay. Okay. This essay will discuss positive effects of providing.
But we have to say, you know what? We have to say exercise because the first paragraph is about exercise. Do you get the idea? We can't link it anymore to fitness centers, because the outline needs to talk about what you have in the main ideas in the 2 paragraphs. This one is good actually for an outline, because it states what's in the yellow highlighted part here. You get the idea of exercise. In addition to, for example, in addition to some of the harmful, instead of saying substitutes, let's choose another one. Some instead of some harmful measures used, sought, better, sought in order to sought harmful measures, for measures sought which seek to reproduce the same results as regular. This is what was as regular exercise. Okay, so I think here in that part in the thesis statement, substitute to building more fitness centers and regular physical activity. Regular activity. Instead of population, let's remove it. Regular public. Yeah, I think this is better.
Okay.
The same, discuss a positive effects of exercise in addition to some harmful measures which seek to reproduce the same results that regular exercise does. Okay, let's read it from the beginning and let's see how.
Wow, that's a long introduction.
It's a little long. Okay, the addition of gyms, fitness centers, and football fields is believed by many. Gyms and football. Let's remove fitness centers since we've used it more than once. The addition of gyms and football fields is believed by many in society to maintain a healthy lifestyle of a given. We don't have to say in society since we're saying community. We'll just say many. The addition of gyms and football fields is believed by many to maintain a healthier lifestyle of a given community, whereas some experts in the field think there are more effective ways to help reach a higher level. Reach, I think, is better than achieve here. To reach a higher level of physical fitness than the aforementioned facilities. In my opinion, substitutes to building more fitness centers and regular physical activity leads to more harm. I don't think we need a comma here. And regular fitness leads to more harm than good to the general public and ought to be used only under expert supervision. This essay will discuss the positive effects of exercise in addition to some harmful measures which seek to reproduce the same results that regular exercise does. I think it's good. It's not bad, I think. At least it's not weird. There are no weird paraphrasing or weird collocations. Let's see how many words this is. It's a little too long, I think.
Mm.
Is this?
It's longer than the 2 paragraphs.
Is that 100 words? Wow, it's too long. Okay, let's cut. It's 100 words. It's too long. Okay, so lead. So more fitness center lead to more harm than good. The general public. To the general good. Let's just keep it harm than good. Okay, the addition of student first grade remains maintained. This seems a little friendlier. This is okay, I think. You see this now? It's 79.
Okay.
But which claim is better? The addition of gyms and football fields is the building more. Isn't it better to say building more? Being a little more specific, right? Building more and football fields is believed by many to help maintain, to help. Let's leave it, help maintain healthy lifestyle living here, whereas some experts think there are more effective ways to do this. To do this, can we say to do this? It's better, I think. Right?
Ways to do this?
We don't need to repeat it. Ways to do this.
Is that okay?
It's okay, because this is a demonstrative. It's a demonstrative that substituted a lot of unnecessary words. In my opinion, substitutes to building more fitness centers lead to more harm than good. This essay will discuss the positive effects of exercise in addition to some harmful measures which claim to reproduce the same results that. Yeah, I like this very much. Okay, this is shorter. This is more concise. Do you know what concise means? Concise is like in Arabic, you get the idea. It's giving the same idea with less words is always better than the other way around, by the way. If you can do the same thing with less words, you need to do it with less words. So now we have an elegant. It was a plus. It was a plus model, and now it's a model. This is what happened. She needed a diet, and now she's okay. All right. So this is an okay. It's an okay introduction. I think what really matters for us is we know how to do it now. This is what I'm trying to convey here, right? How to do it. There is a lot of paraphrasing involved, as you can see here in the introductions. You need to paraphrase the question.
A lot.
Yeah,
yes.
you need to state ideas without repeating them, without repeating words. So there is a lot of.
But it's okay to repeat, right? It's okay to repeat. Like
it's okay, but it's not good if you're seeking. You can. They even in 7 they tolerate some repetition, but if you can avoid repetition, you should avoid it. It's again, it's an ability thing, right? This is the problem. This is a problem with the descriptive lexical resources. because it really depends on your ability. I always like to the analogy I use with vocabulary, and vocabulary range is always money. It's like money. You either got it or you don't have it. You either have 10 dinars or you don't have 10 dinars. You can't expect someone who has 2 dinars to buy something that costs 9 dinars. They just have 2 dinars. You get the idea?
Yes.
The only thing you need to do is just get more dinars, get more vocab, learn more collocations, more. This is how it is, I think. And this can be done. It's not an impossible task. It's time consuming. You need vocab
It is
books.
time consuming. It is.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of time.
It does, but it stays. This is the good thing. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about conclusions. Okay, let's see if I have any articles about conclusions. I don't think I do. But conclusions.
So like you've got 40 minutes, right? For task 2.
You have 40 minutes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we have. No, we don't. But conclusions are very sort of straightforward, I think. Okay, so for a conclusion, what you need to do is basically start with a word like in conclusion, or to sum up, or any of these sort of concluding remarks, okay? Start with one of these, and then just restate your 2 main ideas, and be a little generous, expand a little bit if you have to. But without being too, don't talk too much, because if you talk too much, you'll start supporting. We don't want it to be a regular paragraph with support. We already have that in the body. You get the idea. So it's just the main idea, but maybe expand a little bit, fill in some words. So I want you to paraphrase the first highlighted sentence, the one about increasing physical activity leads to balanced state of blah, blah, blah. A good way to paraphrase is always start from the back. Start with mental and physiological well-being. Do it the other way around.
And you can't repeat words. Okay.
You better not repeat words. Start with a very general one. A healthy mind and body. Right?
Healthy mind and body. Wait.
How did we get a healthy mind and body?
By exercising.
Okay. As a result of
a healthy mind is in a healthy body.
So you can say a healthy mind and body as a result of exercise, or as a result of regular, frequent, or instead of regular, let's say frequent activity, or frequent exercise, or frequent.
We already said activity and already said exercise.
It's okay. You can, as long as you're not repeating the words in the main sentence now. It doesn't mean you can't repeat any of the words you've used so far. You can, it's okay. But not the same you used in the main idea itself. Do you get the idea? Don't use the same words in this one.
Okay, in conclusion, adding more Daily workouts.
Okay, very nice. We have another one. Daily workouts. Very good. But don't start, like I said, start with the in reverse. Start with the
Okay,
back.
okay, yeah, yeah. Okay.
So a healthy mind and body, for example. We can change this too, but let's use it as a starting point. Okay. So a healthy mind.
Okay. In conclusion, okay.
And body as a result of daily work.
Adding more. Okay.
Or adding, or add as a result of increasing, and we have increased as a result of. You can't say adding daily workouts. No, we can say like sticking. So we need something like sticking to, or something like compliance. I'm looking for a word. As a result of commitment, or a result of disciplined, as a result of a disciplined daily, but disciplined is not for the workout, it's for the person. As a result of a well-rounded daily workout, as a result of a moderately we want to say something like hard, but moderate exercise, moderate daily, moderately challenging daily workouts of as a result of regular daily workouts, but it's daily, so we don't regular. Challenging, do we really need it? As a result of daily, we can just use daily. As a result of daily workouts.
Frequent daily workouts? Oh, no.
It's a little too short.
Okay.
As a result of daily work, it is daily workouts can be achieved, is a reality in societies with easily accessible sports centers. Whereas, however, in comparison, we want to contrast it with the other ways around.
Yes.
No. While populations with fewer facilities rely on dubious, and let's not use measures, dubious means to improve their appearances, such as plastic surgery, such as irreversible surgery with surgeries with which often cause, which often come with many complications, come with numerous complications, physical and mental. It's okay, it's not the best.
Is that the conclusion? I don't know.
It is a conclusion because I sort of mentioned the two main ideas we've discussed. So a healthy-minded body is a reality in societies with easy access to sports centers, while populations of fewer, I can use a comment here. While populations with fewer facilities rely on dubious means to improve their appearance, such as irreversible surgeries, which often come with numerous complications, physical and mental. This is an okay conclusion, because what it did is it tied the two main ideas, which is that exercise is good for your mind, it's good for your body. Other means, other measures, not good for your mind, not good for your body. And we tied these two ideas, we tied them to increasing a number of facilities. It's like we're telling the government, guys, increase the number of sports facilities so we can have more exercise. We don't need to do plastic surgery. You get the idea?
Yes.
So I'm connecting it to your first position, which is, in my opinion, substitutes to building more fitness centers lead to more harm than good. And this is what I said in the conclusion. Dubious means to improve their appearance as irreversible surgery and the complications that usually come with that, right?
Yes.
The length of the article is sort of okay. 300 is good. 250 to 300.
300?
Yeah,
Okay.
this is 300. And remember, we've shaved so many words off this this one. So and even the model ones we'll see they're not 250. Actually, for a +7 one, you usually need a little more than 250. 250 is sort of the bare minimum. You shouldn't write less than it.
Yes.
But this doesn't mean you need to go wild and write 400 or 500 words. First of all, you don't have time. This is one thing.
Absolutely, exactly. Yes.
And there's no point, because you will get penalized for any problems in your writing, in the extra words. So it's a risk not worth taking. But if it comes like this, I mean, there isn't too much we can take off. Maybe from the second body we can shave off a few extra weight here. These patients, instead of usually, let's say, tend to have a history of mental illness, not to mention addiction.
I think we should leave it. The two paragraphs are really nice. So
yeah, it's okay. So let's compare this. By the way, I want you to see the difference between what we've written, what we've sort of built here.
You have written, you, not me.
Well, yeah, you've helped. You've been at least
not a lot.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see what they have in the discussion example. Let me show you. All right, so this one is, yes, here it is, discussion essays. All right, let's read the question. Computers are being used more and more in education. Some people say that this is a positive. So obviously this one is already, we can tell that this one contains the general topic words, okay? It's the general theme of the question, not what we need to talk about. Some people say that this is a positive trend, while others argue that this is leading to negative consequences. So this is our micro word. Positive trend, negative consequences. Okay? Discuss both sides of the argument, give your opinion. Let's take a look at this. There is an ever-increasing use of technology. So we can already see this is a paraphrase of this. Computers are being used more and more, ever-increasing use of technology, such as tablets, until here. All of this, until classroom, is a paraphrase of until education. Right? Here, do you see why I was telling you earlier, use the passive? It is argued that, it is believed that, it is thought that. Do you get the idea?
Yeah.
They use this a lot, this one. So instead of saying, some people say, it is often argued, it is often said, it is often believed, it's often reported, it's often discussed in specialized fields, for example. All right. Some people say this is a positive trend. So instead of trend, he said development. Positive, he left it positive. So it's okay. Whilst others disagree. Instead of saying, while others argue, it is a da-da-da-da. So he said, while others disagree and think it will lead to adverse ramifications. Adverse ramifications is negative complications, consequences. Do you see the use of words like this one?
Wow, yes.
Yeah. So these come from advanced vocab. You need to have this kind of vocab. This essay, now, here's our topic sentence, thesis sentence. This is his opinion. The guy is telling us, yes, he agrees. Yeah, technology is beneficial to students and teachers. Do you see how
so short?
That's why I told you the outline sentence, don't give it too much weight. Do it, and this is what we did. If we go back, do you see? Yeah, maybe ours is too long. Maybe too much, we did too much. Anyways, you don't need to do too much like what we did. Okay, where is it? This essay we'll discuss, but we can make this a little better, to be honest. We can just say this essay will discuss the, let's give it a try. We'll discuss the advantages of modernizing the classroom and the advantage and the common and the regular or the common disadvantages that students, that the teaching, that schools and learners face from this technology. Use technology from these computers, from using You get the idea?
Yeah.
It's not too fancy, but it's a paraphrase nonetheless. Okay?
Okay.
So the essay will discuss the advantages of modernizing the classroom. So I just built on what the guy had. I didn't do too much stuff. And the common disadvantages that schools and learners face from using computers. I think it's okay. All right, so this was his introduction. It had the three main parts we talked about: paraphrasing the question, thesis statement, which contains your position, your main opinion, and an outline sentence, which is not as important as the other two parts. Okay. Let's see how he started. All right, you can very clearly see this. This is his main idea. You see how easy it is? You can just spot it right away. He talked about the internet. It is clear that the internet has provided students with access to more information than ever before. Now he will start discussing this. Moreover, learners have the ability to research and learn any subject at a touch of the button. This is why there's more information than before. It's so easy to access. And then he says, his second, now this is supporting idea number 1. This is supporting idea number 1. Let's check supporting idea number 2. It is therefore agreed that technology is a very worthwhile tool for education. I don't like this sentence. It's a little repetitive. Why? I think it's weak. He didn't give any information. He didn't. Actually, this is a very bad sentence, to be honest, because it doesn't say anything about the main idea. To get the idea. This one is a very good one. This is a clear, concise example. Wikipedia is a prime example where students can simply type in any keyword and gain access to in-depth knowledge quickly and easily. This one we should change. We should make it. Let's think of another advantage. Let's think of visual audio, for example. It is therefore agreed that video, that scientific material presented. It is also agreed. It is also. I don't like this. In addition to this, scientific material presented in an audio visual medium has more leads to better student engagement and improved comprehension. Maybe it's a little too long, but I'm trying to link maybe such as YouTube improves, let's make this shorter, improves student engagement and comprehension. And all right. Do you see what I did here?
Yeah.
I just want everything written to be directly relevant to the main idea. If it's not directly relevant, it's a problem. It has to be relevant, because if it's not, it means you're introducing another main idea, and you can't have two main ideas in one paragraph. Everything has to be sort of subordinate to the main idea. And I gave a clear example. I copied what he did with Wikipedia. He used Wikipedia as sort of a written reference. I used YouTube as an audiovisual reference. Audiovisual medium. Okay, however, many disagree and feel that technology deprives people of human interaction. Here you go. Very clear. Again, main idea is clear. You see this? Technology deprives people of real human interaction. Now he's stating his problem. The problem with the opposite view, because this is the discuss both views question, right? We need both of them.
Yeah, agree and disagree.
Yeah. Human interaction teaches people valuable skills of discourse, debate, and empathy. Despite this, human interaction is still, do you see what he did? He gave the opposite team one. He's trying to be fair. Okay, yes, human interaction is important, blah, blah, blah. But with the internet, we can still achieve this. Do you agree? Do you see what he did? Do you see what he
Yeah.
does here? Despite this, human interaction is still possible through the internet, and this essay disagrees. Technology should be dismissed for this reason. For instance, Skype and Facebook make it possible for people to interact in ways that were never before possible. Very nice. This paragraph is really good.
Nice. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, in conclusion, while the benefits of technology, particularly the internet, allow students to tap to, here it is. This is the main idea now. The main idea from number 1. Do you see how you paraphrase this? Here it says, internet has provided students with access to more information than ever before. Here he used to tap into limitless sources of information. Do you see the paraphrasing? You have to paraphrase here. You can't put it like it is. I think we did that. We did that fairly well with our article. But here he is. This is his first idea. Now let's see the second one. Some still feel that people should be wary of this and not allow it. This is the second one. People should be wary. Here it is. This is deprives people of human interaction. Here it is. Should be wary of this phenomenon, not allow it to curb face-to-face interaction. If you want to be really, really, really specific, curb face-to-face interaction deprives people of real human interaction. Okay? So curb is like reduce, limit. However, as long as we are careful to keep in mind the importance of human interaction, the educational benefits are clearly positive. Here he's sort of just stating his overall opinion again. So you can see technology, conclusion is sort of a bit of a 2-in-1. You rephrase or you paraphrase your main ideas, and maybe even paraphrase your main opinion as well. Because this one is actually his main opinion in the beginning.
So that's okay. You can include your opinion again in the conclusion.
You can. If you paraphrase, if you're good in sneaking it in paraphrasing it well without making it too obvious, it's good. I think we did that too with our article. I think the problem with our article, we didn't give clear-cut examples. We didn't give, for example, for instance, I think. So, so here, instead of an addition for this, you can say, for instance, we should give sort of clear examples, because examples are part of the criteria. You should have a good example. You can say, for example, exercise maintains nah, this is not an example of the first. Doesn't work here because it should be in addition. So this is I think the deficient thing in our two paragraphs. They're good, but if we have a sort of an example, maybe it could have been better. You can say, for instance, patients with anorexia and bulimia and history of this. No, this is okay. We sort of fixed it here. You see the idea.
Mm-hmm. For instance, patients. Example. Mm-hmm. So it would be better to write in, for example, for instance.
It could be as imaginary as you want, but it's good to have a concrete example. For instance, you make something up, a case, a study, you know, something tangible that it should contain this. This is what was missing from our article. But the conclusion is fairly okay, I think, if we compare it to the model answer we just saw. It's okay because we connected the daily workouts and the healthy-minded body from the daily workouts, and this is a reality in societies which have with easily accessible and numerous. Maybe we should emphasize numerous because we want number. Numerous. Instead of wild, compared to, let's use compared to that rely on jurisprudence. It's okay. Do you get the idea now, more or less? This format is not just for the discussion question. This is more or less for all types of essay, type 2. In IELTS, they sort of follow this formula. The only difference, like I said, is the position, the thesis sentence. In some of them, there's no position. I'll show you which ones don't have a position. Advantage, disadvantage.
You mean you don't write like?
But there's no thesis sentence.
Okay.
Problem and solution is one example. There's no opinion with problem and solution. Two-part question. This too. There's no opinion. Two-part question. Because you're answering a question. They give you a question, you need to answer it. There's no real opinion on this.
So it's mostly with the agree, disagree, or advantage, disadvantage.
Yes, and discuss.
Both views, yes.
Yeah, these are the ones which usually have an opinion. And usually it says here, do you see? Give your opinion. Give your opinion. You see this? In some advantage, disadvantages, some of them they tell you, some of them they don't. You see this one? In the other two, there's no opinion. Discuss the advantages and disadvantages. There's no opinion for you here. You need to talk about what's given in the question. If you include an opinion, that's actually a negative thing. They don't want your opinion here. They want you to discuss the matter at hand here.
I get it.
The same thing here. Do the advantages of this outweigh the disadvantages?
So it's not opinion.
I think it's a bit of an opinion here because you need to mention both, but you need to say do the advantages yes or no. Do you get the idea? It's a yes/no question. Do the advantages outweigh the? So you need to have an opinion in this. You're a part of the equation.
Okay, I get it. Yeah.
Of course, here we need to discuss this a little more thoroughly, I think. So next time, before we do other examples, maybe we won't need to take as long as today, because today is sort of getting used to all the parts, the body, the introduction, the conclusion. But I think the next important thing for us to cover is the idea of which of them definitely don't have an opinion, don't have a thesis sentence, and what do we do in these articles? How do we write an introduction? I think this is the only thing we need to keep in mind. The rest is the same, more or less. And we need to see a few other model answers. And I think we've sort of cracked most of the important parts in task 2, I think.
Okay. So I know you don't have time. Your schedule's awful and everything. So would it be okay if like I take like practice on one of the mock questions and write it in my own way? Like I know there's answers and model answers, and you check it.
Sure, no problem. You can do that. Just write the question. Make sure you write the question or screenshot the question so I know which one you're answering.
Okay.
And you can do that, yeah. Just but you have to stick to time to get the idea.
Okay, I will. Yeah.
Or
okay.
you can do two copies. One of them under time control, and just keep it as it is with all the problems, with all the errors. Just keep it as it is and send it. And another thing, you need to do it by pen and pencil. I mean, by pen and paper. Don't do it on the laptop. You get the idea?
Yeah, I will do it. A pen.
Yeah, you need to write it. It needs to be handwritten. Then you can just take a photo of it and you can send it. The reason for this is because the real one is handwritten. It won't do you any good to type it. You can't. The time control doesn't translate for typing. You might type faster, you might type slower. So it needs to be handwritten.
Okay.
All right, and I think maybe we need one or another lesson max, and we can do part 1, I think.
Okay.
All right, but use the time to work on some. You know what? I'm going to send you examples of other articles. I think this is. I thought I did.
No.
Okay, so I'm going to send you examples of other types, so you can have a look at them, and whatever type you do in the model test, in the mock test, it needs to be relevant. It needs to be built on what you see here. You get the idea? So it needs to be somewhat similar.
Okay.
Okay, so I think that's pretty much all for today. Do you have any questions?
No. No, just the introduction thing. I was just like, I don't know, the outline sentence is like I kind of confused at the beginning, but then that's okay. I got the idea at the end.
Yeah, but you really need to complement your writing with vocab exercises. You need to work on your vocab. It's absolutely necessary.
That's
the secret. If you want an easy, comfy 7, you need to boost your vocab. You need to use the kind of words that you saw in the model answers here. You need to include these kind of words.
Okay.
Okay, then I'll see you next time. And whatever you finish, just send it to me and make sure you send it with the question.
Okay, I will. And you don't forget to send the samples.
Yeah, I'll do this right now. Actually, I'll just.
Okay.
I'll just. Yeah, they're not big. They're easy to copy. I think.
Okay.
Okay then.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
See you next time.
See you next time.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye.